on CBC! Shame on CBC! Shame on CBC!
I hope that this military action happens as soon as possible. We're so hopeful.
Scarlett Grace with Rebel News. We are here at the intersection of Armory and University Avenue, just by the U.S. consulate, where a student group from U of T, Students for a Free Iran, has organized a rally calling on the U.S. to intervene in Iran. Right now we're hearing chants of long live the Shah and down with the dictator, and we're seeing the historic lion and sun flag of Iran, along with the blue monarchy flag of Iran, the king's flag, Israeli flags, American flags, and Canadian flags.
Down the alternative! Down the alternative!
And I think what you wanted to talk about specifically is the lack of coverage by the mainstream media, specifically on Saturday's protest. What did you want to say about that?
I want to say over 100,000 people showed up at Yongan 16 and they marched to Yongan Major Mackenzie. I did a Google search and I went to the news tab specifically. There is one or two pieces of news I could find. I went 5 pages on that search and I couldn't find much. I think there is a direction from higher up coming down to them saying do not cover this.
Do you think that it doesn't fit their narrative?
Yeah, that's what I'm alluding to, right? The producers are saying do not cover this, and I guess the reporters are listening to them.
And according to the poster for this event, we're going to be marching to CBC headquarters, and that's why, right? Because there's not enough coverage from the mainstream about it.
Sure.
So what do you want Canadians to know about Iran and what's going on right now?
The regime of Ayatollahs must go. They killed a number of people that now they accumulate to something called genocide. When genocides has occurred on the face of Earth, other humans took action. This is becoming an exception if we don't take action.
So since we got here, the crowd has been chanting the only alternative, King Reza Pahlavi. That's something that Iranians really want the world to know, is that they have a chosen leader to transition them to freedom. And the message that every Iranian I talk to wants to get out there is that they are behind the return of their Shah. So I wanted to talk to you about your sign because I recognize the girl on it. She was killed in the current uprising and she had a mess, am I correct?
Yes, so I don't know her personally, but there are tens of thousands of people who were massacred back home in Iran. And I feel that these are my sisters and brothers. I've been in Canada for 17 years, 18 years. I've been paying taxes and everything, but I saw that CBC, they are bringing lobbyists from Islamic regime. They are saying lies. These people, they were massacred in mass. The communist regime is like Nazis in 1930s. They are doing these massacres and finally they come back to Western countries. They recently, they send ballistic missiles to Israel and other countries around. They will do it to Europe, and finally they come to North America. They are like Nazis in 1930s. If you don't act now, they are coming after you. They don't know anything about humanity. They massacred people in mass in hospitals. They shot people in hospitals, the doctors, everyone. They are massacring people right now in prisons. They are not even executing. They just kill them. They just shot them.
They're actually chanting right now, shame on CBC, because they're so mad about the lack of mainstream coverage on the Iranian protests and the Iranian uprising.
On CBC! Shame on CBC! Shame on CBC!
Alrighty, I found a lady here who was holding a British flag. Can I ask why you brought the British flag with you today?
I had the Jewish flag the other day, the British flag. I would have brought more flags from various different countries because a lot of people globally do support for Iranian people to be free, to be self-determining, and to enjoy life as they desire.
And are you Iranian?
No, I'm not.
Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not.
Are you just a Canadian citizen who cares?
Correct.
Same here. So what motivates you so much to come out and support the Iranian people right now?
Because if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't want to live under a religious regime that tells me as a woman, if I don't have a headscarf, I'm a threat.
There are a lot of people who say that this is not Canada's problem. We should just be focusing on Canada and that we shouldn't even be paying attention to this. What do you say to those Canadians?
When you have people screaming global intifada, the one thing I've always learned, first it's the Saturday people, then it's the Sunday people.
Thank you so much. And what sign do you have here? We've got Donald Trump, Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, and Bibi Netanyahu. Now, Trump has promised several times on Twitter now that he's going to intervene in Iran. What do you think Trump is going to do? Do you think he's going to act?
I don't know what Trump's going to do. He's a man of surprises.
So the objective of this protest, I believe, is partly because there is not a lot of mainstream media coverage. We're hearing chants of shame on CBC.
Yeah.
What do you think about the coverage that the mainstream media is doing?
I think our CBC's coverage has always been a little bit one-sided, and a lot of people didn't really understand. That's why a lot of YouTubers and small independent people are ahead of the game now. And they've been doing this with everything. Even with the convoy, they badmouth people. They said the craziest thing. My mom was today saying, "There's nothing about Iran on TV." I'm like, Gilman amnesia. You know what that is? It's a terminology that if you're expert at a subject and the media is talking about it, like TV is talking about it, you're like, no, that's not right. That's not how you do it. Whatever your expertise is. So they're wrong about everything. I told my mom, if they're not covering Iran, everything else you watch there is probably not correct or extremely this way or that way. They say we're fair and balanced, but they're not. And that lie causes a problem. It's okay to be biased. Everybody's a bias. And if I know what your bias is, then I take your words with that bias in mind. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm here with protester Elmira. What brings you out today?
Well, we're here in support of Iranian people who are chanting the name of the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, who's the true one and only leader of the opposition. So we're here to amplify their voice in front of the U.S. consulate in the hope that Mr. President Trump will act for Iranian people and help them.
Like half of these people don't want to be here because they just had to come here. They're not coming here because, the weather is great. They had to come here. These are all the examples of dictatorship. You don't have to just look for yourself. I mean, and also in Iran during the Shah, you had more personal freedoms. Like I remember places that we didn't have police stations. Like there was no police stations. And when I think about it, it's absurd. But he was very strict against the communists, the leftists, very strict that were doing terrorist acts. And at that time, it was Soviet Union and the Cold War. So the whole world was upset that the Soviets would take over. There was a different world order. I'm going to use that word that freaks everybody out. It was a different world order where the Soviet Union was a big bad people. It's a different times.
President Trump has said several times that help is coming and keep protesting. Do you think that he's going to stay true to his word?
I think so. Yeah. And I hope that he's going to do that for sure. Yeah.
So there are reports now that 20,000 people have been killed in Iran.
Yes.
If help is coming, it's certainly taking a long time and there's going to be more lives lost. Are you hoping that Trump is going to act sooner than later?
Well, obviously, yeah, because every second matters right now. People are, right now that I'm talking, I I followed I got some updates, and people are on the streets again, and there are so many people in the prison to be executed, and that is horrifying. I hope that this military action happens as soon as possible. We're so hopeful. Yeah.
Alternative for Iran. Alternative for Iran.
So the original plan for today's event was to start at the U.S. consulate and march to CBC headquarters. Unfortunately, that plan has now been axed because another group showed up, and they're what the Iranians here call the leftists, and they're the people who, to sum it up simply, would prefer a communist future for Iran instead of a free Iran led by Reza Pahlavi. So because there was an altercation with the leftist group left and went to CBC themselves, and now the police have said that this group is not allowed to go to CBC to avoid any further conflict.
Wait, go.
Aggressive. Was that use of force really necessary? So we've made it to the destination, Dundas Square, where the crowd continues to chant SOS for Iran and for Reza Pahlavi. For some reason, there's only around 100 people who've come to this rally, but there's a very heavy police presence, and they seem to be making some kind of barricade around this small, peaceful group right now. I had an interaction with a police officer earlier, and he was really not happy. So I guess we'll see how it plays out with police temperament. So I'm with a protester now who's telling me he has barely any voice because you've been protesting so much, you've been screaming. I wanted to talk about the other side of your sign where it says, Trump act now, you promised. What do you think Trump is going to do? Do you think he's going to act?
I think if he doesn't do that, he's going to lose his reputation. But he's smarter than that. So I think he's waiting for the best time to finish them in one moment. And believe me, Iran is going to be the best ally for America in the Middle East. And if the regime falls, Palestine would be free. All the countries around Iran that have been conquered by the terrorist groups, Hezbollah, Hashd al-Shabi, Houthis, all of them are going to die because all of them are funded by the Islamic Republic regime of Iran.
King Reza Pahlavi, alternative for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi, alternative for Iran. King Reza Pahlavi.
If you believe that Iranians deserve freedom from the brutal regime that has been occupying their homeland for 47 years, please head to CanadiansForAFreeIran.com and sign the petition.